Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Party Candy, where I teach you how to be a balloon baddie. Today we're going to be doing a Mickey Mouse theme that's been really popular. I've had 2 clients so far that have requested this theme. I'll throw up some pictures of those. And I thought I'd show you how to do a very simple, straightforward garland. And I'll be posting a second video with a more advanced technique, but this one will be a straightforward garland. I'll tell you exactly what you need. I'll post links below that this is a very straightforward, simple technique that I'll be using for this garland and make it super simple for you to do this on your own at home. So let's get started. All right, for today's video, I will be using all Gemar balloons. If you've watched my favorite brands, balloon brands video, I love Gemar. They're very affordable. They have every color you could possibly need. Their metallics are my favorite, but I have all the colors. This is left over from a job that I did a couple months ago. Actually, not a couple months ago. It was like a couple weeks ago. Anyway, these are all of the balloons we'll be using today by size and color, and I'll also put them below. We'll be using a 5-inch, 12-inch, and then their 19-inch as well. I'll also be putting the counts of the pairs that we're making. I do a simple technique where I do 2 11s, 2 11 pairs twice, and then I do an 11-17 pair, and I repeat that until I get the length that I want. And then I'll be doing clusters to match this. So once I finish my 11 and 17s, we'll get it hung, we'll put our clusters on, and yeah, I'll show you the final look. This is really straightforward, you guys. You can't mess this up. So for this look, we're gonna be using yellow, red, and then the Gemar Black and white polka dot balloons. We'll also be using a few black balloons and 5-inch black balloons and 12-inch to make a little Mickey Mouse balloon shapes that we'll put in our garland. It'll be super cute. But yeah, let's get to blowing. I'll post all of the counts for what I do for this garland specifically. And yeah, get ready for a time lapse. I figured I'd do today's video on my couch because this is where I do most of my balloons. I put on a show, blow up my balloons and relax. I also have like a loft space upstairs that I work in sometimes, but this is just relaxing for me. Sometimes when I do garlands, I'll mix the colors, like I'll do a red and a yellow together, but I tend to do the same color for each of my duos just because I like the more like chunky look as opposed to the real like super blended look. Just a preference. Now we're gonna do a few of our 11-17 pairs. Or sorry, these are by Gemar. They do 19-inch. These are 19-inch balloons. But yeah, it's a huge difference in sizing. I love to blend the 17 or 19-inch with the 11 because it just gives the garland more fullness, and it just looks way better than if you used all 11s. Again, a preference. How many of you love Disney? I went to Disney a few years ago. It's where I got my ears, and that place really is magical. They're so nice there, and they just create an atmosphere that's so just relaxing and fun, and you really forget where you are. It's just a whole other universe. I love it. Hopefully I'll go back soon. Post-COVID, because I hear it's not as fun. Sorry, Disney World, I hear it's not as fun with COVID. And that is the tea. All right. No wine for me today, just tea. Okay. We're done with our yellows. We're gonna move on to our reds. love Gemar balloons. They're so soft and stretchy, and you can like easily smush them into your circles. Love it. M-I-C-K-E-R-M-O-U-S-E. All right, now we're gonna use our Gemar black and white polka dot balloons. We're just gonna pair them with a red or yellow 11 or 17 inch. Again, I will put those counts so you can see exactly what I did. In this case, like the polka dots are meant to kind of just be like sprinkled in, and so I don't use as many as the polka dots, at least in this one. All right, and now we're gonna blow up our 5-inch balloons. We're gonna do pairs on this one, I think. Depending on how the look, I'll do either just pairs or do quads. And in this look, I feel like I'm gonna keep it pretty simple, so I'm just gonna do duos. Again, I'll put my counts of what I finally end up using in the garland. So for my 5-inch, I like to vary the sizes, and I do that kind of in the 11 just so it's not like perfect. Because when you vary the sizes, it just kind of makes it look cooler in my opinion. So like you could end up like making these 5-inch ones a little smaller or bigger, just depends. It's all preference. If you haven't watched my video on how to make clusters, I'll link it below. It'll probably be at the end of this video as well. I think today I'm gonna use my rubber band technique just because it's faster, but if you want to do something more professional, definitely use your 260s to tie them together. We're gonna be lazy today. People always ask me, because I've gotten so fast at this, like, I could do a garland in like 30 to 45 minutes, blowing up all the balloons, putting them together and hanging it up and finishing it. And honestly, you get used to it, and it's like almost like a meditation. I just get into the groove. Yeah, over time you just get better. I started practicing with like balloons off of Amazon because they weren't very expensive. And I just practice on the weekends. My poor sister and brother-in-law, like I'd fill up their living room with balloons. They'd just be everywhere. That's how you get better at anything. You just have to practice. So I've gone really fast, but that didn't happen overnight. So if this is something you want to do as like a side hustle or as a business like I do, practice makes perfect. So if your first garland sucks, just keep going because it will get better. I'll have to show like my first couple garlands. They were cute, but they just were not, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was guessing at the technique. And it wasn't until after like I watched videos or paid for classes that I figured out how people were doing certain things. But yeah, I remember my first few like clusters, so bad. I used a lot of like glue dots. Okay, I've got a lot of yellow. Lots of yellow. I need to go get some black. Some black 5s and some black 11s. All right, you guys, so I'm going to grab some black balloons, blow those up, and we'll start putting stuff together. All right, you guys, and now that we have all of our balloons blown up, we're gonna be building out our garlands with our 260s. I've got all of my 11 and 11-17 pairs on the floor, and we're just gonna get started. I'm gonna start with an 11-11 pair. So you'll just tie your 260 onto your 11. I always double knot it. So in this case, we're just gonna alternate colors. I'll never really want like a red and a red or a yellow and a yellow. We're just gonna vary the pattern and keep it all nice and mixed up. So I have my 11-11. Let's do polka dot 11-11, and then we'll grab our first 11-17. Put that in there. Then we'll go back to an 11 pair. Then another 11 pair. And now an 11-17 pair. And see, in this case, as I'm going, my 17s, I try to like keep them at different locations instead of like all on one side. You'll see as I go how that kind of pattern emerges. So back to another 11. See, so I've got my 19s kind of spaced out in the garland and not all on one side. All right, so we're about done with this 260. I'm gonna tie it off to the neck of this red 11. So I have my 260 and I'm just gonna tie it off here. So we were able to build this much out. I'm 5'7", so this is probably just like a little under 5 feet of garland from one 260. So to continue, we'll grab another 260 and tie it to our garland. I just tied it around the 11-inch red pair I just put in. And now we're ready to add more balloons. So as you can see, our polka dots are like evenly spread out. I'm not overdoing it because we'll also have our Mickey Mouse balloons that we're gonna throw in here as well. So just be mindful of spreading out the polka dots. All right, you guys, so my other camera died. I took my garland upstairs. We're gonna get it hung and we're gonna add in our 5s. Let's go. All right, you guys, so we got our garland hung. If you've not watched my video on how to hang a garland, I will link that below. I used the DDMI hook technique on this one. I kind of did a diagonal look instead of doing like the classic arch look. I think that's kind of overdone a lot. I think this is more of a unique look for pictures, and you could add different foils on the wall or just signs or whatever to complement this look instead of just doing like a classic arch. So we're gonna add our 5-inch balloons, but first I blew up individual black balloons. These are 11-inch balloons, and I could have incorporated them into the garland, but I like to do it afterwards because then I could strategically place where I want these. These are gonna be for our little Mickey Mouse look. We'll also be using 5-inch balloons to create like the little Mickey Mouse ears. But yeah, so what you'll wanna do is blow up your 11-inch balloons to whatever size you want. And I went ahead and attached a 260. I cut a 260 in half and attached it to the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my 11-inch black balloons where I think it's going to look best. And then we'll attach our 5-inch little ears. When I style the garland, my 5-inch balloons are always the last to go on because if I'm adding foils or orbs or anything like that, those will fill up a lot of space, and then they might cover up some of your 5 inches if you did that first. So Always leave the 5-inch balloons for last. All right, so now that we have our black 11 inches up, we have our 2 5-inch balloons that we're just gonna attach on each little black ones to create a little Mickey Mouse. I'm gonna use glue dots, but you can use a low heat glue gun if you prefer. I'm gonna use glue dots way faster. How freaking cute is that? I love it. Okay, now that we got all our Mickey Mouse done, we're gonna add our 5-inch duos. For the purposes of this video, I'm gonna use my rubber band technique, which is really simple. If you're a mom at home, a friend at home that's doing this, I would totally just use rubber bands. But if you're a professional, I definitely recommend using your 260s to attach these. It'll take a little bit more time, but it looks better. But yeah, let me grab my rubber bands and get started. So for this, we're just gonna place these where we think it looks best. Again, if you haven't watched my how to make clusters video, I'm gonna link that below. This is one of the techniques I go over in that video. I'm using rubber bands. So fast, definitely a time saver. For a lot of my garland looks, I like to use clusters of 4, but because this is just so playful and fun and light, I think the 2 duos look better for this. But feel free, you could do 4s or whatever you like. It's up to you. So I'm creating a cluster of 10 because I have extra balloons. And I like to put these sometimes like at the end of a garland. It just like kind of tapers it off. So I have a piece of 260. I'm gonna tie, this is optional, you don't have to do this, but so I adjusted my camera so you could see the end of this garland. I'm gonna take this cluster and just put it at the top and just kind of create like a tapered effect with this. So just a cute little option, gives it some depth. I think I'm gonna take some yellows as well and attach this. And there you go. I think that looks so cute. All right, let me show you guys up close. So a real quick tip before I show you a close-up, I love to use painter's tape or masking tape when I'm done to get all the hair off or whatever the balloons pick up, because balloons pick up everything. And right now I could tell that I have some hair hanging out here. So I'm gonna go around and just take off any hair I see from the balloons. So I definitely see the hair. All right, so let's give you a close-up of this garland. You see I got our cute little Mickey Mouse ears. And then at the top right here, we did our little 5-inch clusters. Just looks super cute. All right, you guys, so that completes today's look. This is such a cute option if you're having a Mickey Mouse themed party. It's really simple, very easy to do. I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions, let me know below. I'm going to be taking all of these balloons and doing like a more advanced technique. So if you want to see that, if you'd like to try that, stay tuned for that video. And yeah, so thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Peace.